Yeah, just introduce yourself and like let us know what your religious upbringing looked like and so on and so forth.
I was born in a non-practicing Muslim family, so no one ever taught me anything. So I learned about Jesus and Christianity in school because I took Catholic classes. So I learned about Jesus there. And well, like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, I started seeking God because of some family problems, some personal problems, and thanks to my upbringing in school with Catholicism, I started looking online about Jesus, and thanks even to an Orthodox friend, he he talked to me about Orthodoxy. So thanks to him, I started looking into Orthodoxy online with Father Spiridon or other famous priests online, and thanks to them, I chose to convert to Orthodoxy.
Now that's interesting because you said it was 2 years ago that you started to discover orthodoxy,
No,
and
Christianity in general, I think 2 years ago, but then like Orthodoxy specifically, maybe 1 year ago. Yeah.
You discovered Christianity like
No, no,
two
no. I
years
mean,
ago.
like I already knew Christianity, but like to learn more about it, like 2 years ago.
I was gonna say like you if you didn't know what Christianity was until
Uh,
okay, so you started to learn more about it 2 years ago,
yeah,
and then specifically orthodoxy like a year ago.
yeah.
So when you say you were raised non-practicing Muslim, it was, I'm assuming, just culture-wise, like you were Muslim by name, and
Yeah,
is your family also non-practicing Muslim, or?
yeah. Almost everyone. Just my uncle. He was born in a non-practicing Muslim family too. But then he started looking into Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And then he chose Islam. And now he's the only practicing Muslim in our family.
Okay, so 2 years ago, then you've already learned a little bit about Christianity, or you knew about it. You didn't know much about it, but now you go on this journey here towards learning more about Christianity. And maybe my first question there would be like, what sparked that interest, that curiosity about what Christianity is, right?
I never liked Islam, like hearing about on the news what they do and things like this about the Quran and what they have in there. So I wanted something different. And because I already knew Jesus a bit from when I was a kid, just growing up, I said, why not? Let's see who is this guy, like what he did and things like this. And like hearing about his stories and things like this attracted me. And so I just decided like this was the truth for me because after I, let's say, accepted him in my heart, I felt like peace for the first time.
So two questions then. I want to ask you about that peace that you felt when you accepted him and how you accepted Christ. But before we get there, I want to ask you about, because you said learning about the story of Christ sparked a curiosity in you to learn more about Christianity. So what was it about the story of Jesus that most resonated with you?
Like how we help people, how we like how can I say, like his miracles and things like this. Even like watching the saints of like the lives of the saints on YouTube and seeing the miracles they did too. So like I saw in Islam, I never heard about miracles in Islam. I said this can't be true. Like Christianity must be the true one. And so yeah.
That's awesome. Now, let's see. The question I was going to ask after that was the let's see. I lost my. What did I say? I told you I was going to ask you another question after that. Let's see now. Yeah. What did I say, chat, in the comments? I was going to ask him a follow-up question. I'm still drinking my coffee, so I'm kind of out of my mind here now. Okay, so you start learning about Jesus, his story, who he is, and his miracles, and just learning that he's a great guy, right?
Yeah.
And so then, yes, thank you, Bear. it's early here. I woke up, I stayed up late last night and I was debating a little bit, and I blame Theology Matters in the comment section here for keeping me up all night. But I was going to ask you about the grace that you felt and the peace when you accepted Christ. So you can talk about that and also talk about how you accepted Christ, right? Like, what was that process like?
I just accepted him in my house, in my room, because when I was pretty much like younger, like a kid, I used to mock God with my friends because I thought it was cool, like hearing them mocking God. And after looking into Christianity and Jesus, I asked for forgiveness every day, but I wasn't sure if he had like forgiven me truly. So one night I was looking through my window and I said, exactly, I said, like, if you truly forgiven me, show me like a red car. It was night, like the streets were all desert, and after 3 seconds, I saw the red car and I started just like I had goosebumps and shaking and like felt like the peace, like something like came up from my chest, and then I just knew that he had truly forgiven me.
So it was just basically a talking moment with Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Praying to him. Prayer is, people think that prayer is this, where you just have a very nice, conversation with God and you use the correct words, but it's just talking to Jesus. It's so simple.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, were there any particular like Christian values or people or something else that played a role in your interest in Christianity? You mentioned you had some friends, and you also had some friends who used to mock God. That's interesting.
Like they were Christians too, but lukewarm Christians. They just mock God because, like in Italy, this was like a trend. I don't know how, but this, like, I thought this was cool because I was just maybe 10 years old, 9 years old. I was still a kid. But then after I came here and looking into Orthodoxy and things like this, like I started feeling guilty for what I did, and that's all.
Okay, but before exploring Christianity and later Eastern Orthodoxy, what was your general impression of Christianity? Like, what did you think about Christians and Christianity as a whole?
I just thought they were just another religion, like in the world, like there are thousands of religions. I didn't thought about it like something special. Like I thought every religion maybe has a truth in it, but like because I was raised non-practicing Muslim, like I never learned anything about it. I just learned like in school about Christianity and the things Jesus did, but I didn't truly believe it because I was a kid, I don't know, but I thought I believed more in science. Like for a period, I was almost atheist, but in my heart I knew that God was real, but I still didn't knew who was him.
Yeah, man, what you're saying is resonating so much with me because being raised in Sweden, right? It's like it's like the most secular country in the world. Like Europe is quite secular, has a lot of atheists, especially Sweden. Either you're atheist or you're Christian by name, and and if you take Christianity seriously, it's like, what are you doing? It's like it's not like here in the United States when you say that, hey, I'm Christian. Okay, that's normal, right? In Sweden, it's like, hey, you're Christian. It's like, what's wrong with you? But you come from you're Italian, and that's quite a Catholic country. It's a Christian country, eh?
Yeah.
But did you find with your Italian friends that many of them are just culturally Christian?
Like, can you repeat the question? Like, what
Like,
you mean,
do you find in Italy that many people are just like Christian by name? They're not really taking Christianity seriously.
Yeah, probably most of them are just like you just described them. They are all like almost all lukewarms. Maybe only the older generation, they are more Christians, like truly, but the younger people like me, they just don't care about it.
Someone asked in the comment section here, so why did you choose Orthodoxy? I'm curious. From Vlad.
After looking into it online and yeah, everything, I saw how like traditional it was, how like unchanged it was, and even the icons and the chants, and I just felt like my soul felt like connected to it. So I haven't studied very much about the church history yet, but just from looking at those things and from hearing the videos I watched, I've just like fallen in love with it.
That's interesting because many people who kind of look into Eastern Orthodoxy, um, uh, you have a different background, but like say for example Protestants, right? When they start looking into Eastern Orthodoxy, they be kind of skeptical when it comes to iconography and all of that, like the veneration of icons. You didn't have that. That was actually something that you liked.
Like I love art, and when I had questions, I went to ChatGPT AI and I asked like, why is this right? Why do they do it? And after hearing the explanations, I just thought like, it's like it makes sense. It's right.
So explain that then to someone who maybe is wondering about like icons. What's that about? Like, how can you have icons? Like, how did it make sense to you?
From what I've learned, from what I know, it's like windows to heaven. Like when I pray before using icons, I didn't know who I was truly praying to. Like I had many images in my head, but nothing like truly like focused. And after I got my icons, I was praying, looking at them, and I knew that I was praying like directly to God. This at least is for me like personal thing, but I'm not sure why. Like 100% sure how we use them, but this is my personal view of them.
Okay, so it helped you make that connection. You could say maybe it's like to make a bad example here, but it's like dating a girl somewhere and you don't even know what the girl looks like. You just writing emails or you're chatting online a little bit and you've never seen the girl, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Now you moved to you live in Germany now, and I've been there a few times, and I do know that there's not a lot of Eastern Orthodox churches there. There are many Catholic and Lutheran churches as there is in Sweden.
Mhm.
So what's that like? Where's your nearest Orthodox church?
It's probably like 20 minutes or half an hour with the car, but I'm just 16, so I can't drive a car and I can't even take the bus because like where the church is, there are no buses through like there because it's like in the, I don't know how the English word is, but like the Autobahn. I don't know, in like the highway, yeah, in the highway. In the highway there are no bus stations. So I just go with my Orthodox friend that taught me about Orthodoxy, but it doesn't go as often as he should or as we should. So yeah, it's hard to go there alone.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Can Francesco speak German?
Yeah, I'm learning like, yeah, I have like B1 in German, B2. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool. And I assume you speak Italian.
yeah, I speak I think 4 languages: Albanian, Italian, German, and English.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Now, having stepped foot in an Eastern Orthodox church, I'm assuming that you've stepped foot in some other churches before that. Just tell us what you felt and how that spoke to you. I guess going into an Eastern Orthodox church, what did that do to you?
Like before going to the Orthodox Church here in Germany, and like at least where I live, there are many Protestant church, especially I think Evangelicals church, and there is one big one here where I live, and I went there with my school, but I immediately didn't like it because I saw outside there was like the LGBTQ flag, and from what I've read from the Bible, this is like God, this goes against God, so I immediately like was against it.
What kind of church was that? Was it a Lutheran church or?
I think Evangelical church.
Yeah. Yeah, Europe is becoming quite secular and liberal leaning. It's a mess. But then you step into an Eastern Orthodox church, and what do you feel there? What do you see? What's your experience?
The first time I went there, it was like many people say this, but it's true. Like it was like being in another, like 500 years ago, 1000 years ago. Like it doesn't feel 2025, you know? It feels like so ancient and so unchanged. And it was so big, like all with all the art and everything. It didn't feel like, it was like almost like heaven, like nothing on earth.
There's a story. Maybe the people in the comment section can help me out. But there was a story about some people who were going out to try to find a religion for themselves, and they visited a mosque, and they said, "Well, no, we don't know about that." And then they visited the Jewish religion, and they said, "Well, you know, they don't drink, so we can't do that." And then they stepped into a Eastern Orthodox church. I think it was Hagia Sophia, and they said that this feels like heaven on earth. We didn't know if we were heaven or on earth. It is truly a beautiful experience to see the divine liturgy. Someone said how to escape sin. So I'm just going to direct that question to you, Francesco.
Honestly, for me, when I have like sinful thoughts or things like this, I just take my prayer up, or I just say the Jesus prayer and I start like crossing myself. And thanks to this, like, is he asking about the thoughts of sin or like actual sin?
Yeah, like just escaping your passions, you know, getting away from just, I guess, bad behavior and sin like that.
Like, I struggle with a lot with laziness and things like this. So what helped me was like maybe scheduling your day, and so because, or maybe learn a new skill or something, because when you do things like this, you have no time to sin, at least it is for me. And so you just focus on doing this stuff, and yeah, your mind is like focused on like on other things instead of the sin.
Okay, so I want to continue on experiencing Eastern Orthodoxy in the church, attending divine liturgy, and just immersing yourself in that particular culture. One thing I notice about the Eastern Orthodox Church is the emphasis on community, right? Everything is structured in such a way that when you enter the church, you enter a community. Everything from the iconography, you feel like you're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, like heroes that went before you, saints, to the kitchen in the church where they have potlucks and they eat and they do all kinds of things together. Um, so maybe talk to us a little bit about that. How does that affect your connection with Christ, being a part of a community like that, and maybe how important is it to you to be able to have that community of believers who, you know, believe in orthodoxy, the truth?
I went to the Orthodox Church maybe like just 4 or 5 times, like I said before, because it is very hard for me to go. But when I went, and after the liturgy and everything, when we went to the, I think, coffee time or how it's called, like it felt like a big family, like people talking together, laughing, smiling. And I think like this is the best part in the Orthodox Church, like the community, and yeah.
Now, since you can't go that often to church, you mentioned it's far away, and you live in a country where there's not a lot of Eastern Orthodox churches. How important is personal prayer life to you, and how does that look like to you?
Lately, I've been struggling with my prayer life because I can't lie, like I'm not busy because I just go to school maybe 6 hours a day, and then I have all day free. And so I spend, like, I try to do my things, my videos, record, edit, and then maybe like read the Bible and pray. But instead, I just go on my phone scrolling all day, and then I waste my time. And so lately, it's been like bad, like my prayer life.
How would you describe your earliest experiences of Christ, like when discovering and learning more about Christianity? Did you have any moments of curiosity or conviction, or maybe peace, or just Christ becoming more personal to you? Like a story maybe that you can share?
Mm, like a story maybe from the Bible, or like about Christ connecting personally to me.
Yeah, more personal connection to Christ. Yeah.
Mm, like I've seen many videos saying that people that have maybe traumas or things like this, uh, they feel like, how can I say, like they miss something in their heart, and after seeing Christ like as a father for everybody, I felt like I have a father. He's like a loving father is good, but I felt like I needed something more. I don't know, something that can like guide me like really. And after seeing him like in the Bible guiding people and everything, I needed like a bigger guide. So I just connected with Jesus and trying to be more like him.
And how is your family reacting to your journey towards Orthodoxy? Are they okay with that, or is that a difficulty maybe?
Um, they are a bit skeptical about it. Like the first time I told them, like they're not like other like Muslim families where they just disown you and like kick you out. Like they will always love me, they say. But like they ask questions about Christianity and I explain them and they understand, but they still don't want to convert because they are scared that if they do, they might be doing the wrong thing. They take the bad decision and then they go to hell because of this. So that's why they're scared.
Did you have any such fears as well going into Christianity? Like, am I doing the wrong thing, or were you just fully convinced this is right?
Yeah, I was fully convinced because after seeing like the Muhammad what he did like with kids and things like this, I said this can't be like a man of God, you know. So I just was like fully focused on Christianity.
And that's awesome. It's like the Lord did the work in you. Now, how has your identity changed through this process on your journey towards Christ? Right, you were like you were mocking God at some point. You were raised in a non-practicing Muslim family, and now you're on this journey towards Eastern Orthodoxy. So, how has your identity changed? Like, what has changed about you?
I feel like before I had no purpose. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Not even like I didn't know what job or anything. But after after converting, almost converting to Orthodoxy, and like after starting doing my videos, recording and posting stuff like this, I felt like I found my purpose and I found like my new identity in Christ, trying to become more like him. Like before I was a guy like that didn't care much about the future or about like serious things in general. I was just careless. But now that I have God, I'm trying to be more like a mature guy. Like I've always been mature. Even like people told me like I almost like, how can I say, like a therapist. I've always helped people like with problems. So maybe that's why I'm doing good with my videos. I don't know, but like I feel like I was already like a good person, but becoming like Christian, it made this like 10 times better. Like it's, I don't know how can I explain it, but yeah.
Great. Now, what do you feel like your purpose is now? How do you have purpose, and what's that look like? Like, what's that mean, right?
With my videos, I feel like my purpose is to help people. Like the Bible says, like to help everyone, and God willing, I will do this for many years and hopefully earn while doing this and help like the community and donate and do things like this to make the world like a better place. And like I know that I've converted many people. I receive messages every day from Muslims or other Christians like that you helped me convert to Eastern Orthodoxy, or you helped me like against sins. You helped me overcome this sin, and I think I'm doing like I'm helping people. Like I'm making a difference in this world.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Now, what would you say to those who are maybe on this live now, or who will be watching this video on YouTube later on? Like people who are coming from a similar background as you, maybe not taking religion so seriously, or they were raised Muslim, right? Like, what message would you share with someone like that who is wanting to explore Christianity? Can you walk them through that and maybe give them some words of advice?
Honestly, I would just tell them to try to go to an Orthodox church and talk to a priest, and if they can't, just maybe look into it, maybe online, or contact an Orthodox priest, because I'm not a priest, so I can't really give advice, but yeah, that's all.
Okay. Now, going towards Eastern Orthodoxy, I'm assuming that there were some theological concepts, and we don't have to get deep into theology and all of that, but were there things like the Trinity or the sacraments of salvation, things like that that were either challenging to you or just illuminating you, that just caught your curiosity? What's this, right?
Maybe the Trinity, because that's what is stopping my family from converting. They don't understand like the three gods thing they say, and this was the problem for me too. But now I haven't really like understood it. I just accepted it as it is because God is big. God is like it's a mystery, so I just accepted it.
Yeah, that's one of the main objections, right? They call it the logical problem of the Trinity. They think that it means, okay, we believe in three gods, which we don't. Now, if you're a social Trinitarian, I think that you kind of do believe in three gods in one sense or the other. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rage baiting here, but yeah, interesting. Because Islam is obviously like, strict monotheism, one God. Like the Trinity is a complete new concept to them, right? Try to wrap their mind around how that works and how there's one God, but yet three persons.
I think I've made a mistake trying to explain it to them. I mean, I might have committed heresy because I tried like to compare God to maybe water, saying like eyes, and yeah.
Yeah, probably not the best analogy.
Yeah.
I actually shy away from using analogies because all analogies ultimately fail. I just explain like in simple terms that there's one God the Father, the ultimate source of all things, and there's one divine nature, right? And the Jesus Christ, the true God of true God, possesses that divine nature. The Holy Spirit possesses that divine nature. So one divine nature, three persons, hence one God, and three persons Trinity. I don't know, but trying to make such a complex concept simple can be difficult. Now, how has Orthodox worship changed your daily life and your routines?
I wake up earlier because I have to pray, so I'm not late for school, and even maybe I try to go to sleep earlier because I always have to pray. But I think this is still a blessing because before converting, I had no routine in my life. I had like I wake up, go to school, come home, and just maybe play video games or scroll through my phone. But now that I converted, and I have I have a responsibility with my videos, and I have to help people, and I have to pray for myself too. So I think my life is like it's way better than before. I can say this.
What does your prayer life look like? Maybe you can just tell us what you do when you pray and how you focus on God.
I recently got a prayer mat. I don't know if you saw the video. I made a video about it, and I have a prayer book too. So I read maybe 3 or 4 prayers from the prayer book. I cross myself, and then I take the prayer up with 100 beats, and I just complete them, and then I do a few prostrations, and then I say my personal prayers.
The Jesus prayer, I'm assuming is going towards Eastern Orthodoxy here on this journey. You say the Jesus prayer a whole lot.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, and what does that do to you?
Personally, I think like I am a sinner, so I keep asking God every time to maybe have mercy on my soul, like on Judgment Day, or at least that's what I think about the prayer.
Yeah, people don't know. Often, at least many people that I interact with, they think that that is just a religious thing. It's vain repetitions. But there's a difference between repetition and vain repetition, first of all, right? And it's certainly not a religious thing. I mean, it's one of the most. It comes from one of the most gracious stories in the Bible, where you had a religious Pharisee who was like saying, "I thank God that I'm not like sinners like these people here, and I don't do this, and I pay my tithe, and I'm so good and proper." And but then you have this tax collector, a sinful person, and he says the prayer that is now the Jesus prayer, or close to it at least, says, "God, I'm a sinner. Have mercy on me," right? And he was, according to Jesus, he was the one who walked away justified, while the religious Pharisee received nothing, right? So the Jesus prayer is very humbling, and it opens yourself up to receive the mercy from God, because we, like you said, we are sinners.
Yeah. Like
Now,
when I say the Jesus prayer, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not always thinking about God. Like sometimes, like I'm busy in a day and I try to say the Jesus prayer, but I just repeat it vainly without even thinking about God. That's like I'm trying to focus fully on God when I say this, but it's hard.
so it's like aligning your thoughts with Christ's thoughts, and
Yeah.
and focusing on Jesus, and also focusing on yourself, that you are a sinner in need of His mercy. So I want to ask a follow-up question to that. Like, what does it look like to follow Christ, and how is that a battle against your passions and distractions, sin, and other things?
Now I feel like, a sheep. I found I think, yeah, I found my pastor, and before I was like just, I was just living in sin. But now that I found Christ, I'm going I'm going in the straight way, like in the right way, thanks to Christ, because he's my pastor, and we are like all sheeps.
And what I know that you can't go to church as often as you would like, but obviously church means a whole lot to you, to have that community. So and just experiencing the liturgy, right? Maybe I'll ask you about the liturgy first. So what does it mean to you to be able to participate in the liturgy, and how does that change you as a person?
Maybe like when you go to liturgy, you feel like in God, church is God's house. So when you go there, you're like at God's house, and when you just pray at home, I still feel God, but I'm more distant. So I think our souls, we need like to go to church always.
What do you find the most beautiful about the liturgy itself?
Maybe like how they sing. Like I don't understand nothing because I go to a Greek Orthodox church and I don't understand even what the priests say. So it's hard, but I just like the sound of how they sing. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, even if you don't understand the words, I mean, stepping into an Eastern Orthodox church and hearing the Divine Liturgy, it's nothing like it. It truly is beautiful, and it does something to you. It's very peaceful. It gives you peace.
Like I listen to secular songs too, but when I listen to them, I don't feel the same peace that I feel when I listen to chants. Yeah.
Right. How what does that mean to you, to be able to have this opportunity to have peace? Like when you read the New Testament, almost every epistle in the New Testament begins with grace and peace to you. The message of the gospel, the message of Christianity, is about peace, not only external peace, but it's an internal peace. It's a peace that only Christ can give to us. So, how do you feel like you have received peace from Jesus? And maybe you can give some advice on how to remain in a peaceful state.
Probably because I don't feel like before I used to be like more anxious, like a lot, but now like I was scared even maybe to go out and not to go out, but like to talk to somebody, like I have an important meeting. I was scared like about everything, but now that I have God, I have Jesus. I just know that only what he says or what he does matters. So like only he matters. So I don't have this anxiety anymore. That's why I found the true peace. At least this is what I think.
Now, and how is following Jesus changed you personally, right? Like how you act, how you see yourself compared to how you used to see yourself, how you see others compared to how you used to see others. Just walk us through that. What has Jesus done for you?
For example, when I go out and I see like a homeless guy, before I used to think like it doesn't matter if I give them money or not because like maybe there's no God and things like this. But now when I see a homeless guy, I just try to give as much as I can because I know that if I give to him, it's like giving to Christ. So, I feel like I'm helping, like while helping him, I'm helping myself too, like trying to get to heaven maybe, I don't know.
So okay. So following Jesus, you said to give to them is like giving to Christ. Of course, that comes from Matthew 25. Whatever you've done to the least of these, you've done unto me. And I think that's so beautiful because Jesus identifies himself with us so much that whatever we do to them, we've actually done that to Christ because Christ loves them so much, and not only knowing that Christ loves me, but Christ loves the world and he loves all the people that I interact with. That changes my worldview. That changes my interaction with the world, right?
Yeah.
What deepens your love for Christ?
Maybe knowing that when I'll die, like many people believe that atheists believe that when you die, you just maybe sleep forever. But knowing that when you die, I will be like united with him and live happy forever. This helps me connect more to him and try to not waste my time doing worldly things, but like use my time to connect more with God and trying to like live with him in heaven.
So it's an eternal perspective. It's not only
Yeah.
just you live here for a few years and then you rot in the grave and that's it. You can care less about what you do here because there are no consequences. But you've met and discovered your Lord, your Savior, and you're looking forward to spend the rest of eternity with Him. Kind of gives you a different perspective on things and how you act and what you do, right?
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you about Jesus, right? Coming from a non-practicing Muslim background, in Islam, of course, there's a respect for Jesus as a prophet, and people are shocked to know this, but the Quran speaks about Jesus a whole lot, maybe 90 plus times. So Jesus is, or at least the concept of a person named Jesus is not foreign to you. But in Christianity, Jesus is more than just a prophet. So walk us through that a little bit. How was that like coming to discover that Jesus is actually God?
To be honest, I have never read the Quran, so I didn't know that they know that. Wait, let me say it. I didn't know that they knew Jesus. I thought they just had like Allah and the Prophet Muhammad and things like this. So when I learned that they have Jesus too, and for them this is just a prophet, I like immediately thought about Satan deceiving Muhammad, and because it's the Bible and Quran, it's almost all the same stories, but the only thing that changes is Jesus there is just a prophet, and here is God. And so I think like when the angel went to Muhammad, like he was not angel, but it was Satan deceiving him and trying to change the story and yeah, that's what I think.
So who is Jesus to you now?
Like my savior, he's the truth, the way, and the life. He just like saved my life, and hopefully I will live with him forever in heaven. And yeah, it's like my father.
And what do you love about Jesus the most?
That he's so merciful and forgiving. Like he's patient. Like I sin a lot, so knowing that he will like forgive me even when I sin, this like really comforts me.
Beautiful. Now, the gospel story, like, first of all, what is the gospel, right? And how did that speak to you? How did that resonate with you? Like when you heard the gospel story first about Jesus, how he took our sin, he was buried, he rose again. He did something on your behalf, right? So walk us through the gospel a little bit and tell us about what that did to you, how that affected you.
Like the gospel is good news. Like God, Jesus died for us, and he rose again 3 days later. And if you believe in this and you are baptized and you do good, you can go to heaven. But with Islam, you just have to like hope that you might be forgiven, and you don't even know your God. Like you don't like Allah. It's just they just say it's Allah and like finished. But with Christianity, you have to believe, and if you believe in this, you can go to heaven. And then in Islam, you just have to do good things, and you don't know if you ever like if it's ever enough. That's why I like more the Christian way to go to heaven than the the Muslim way.
Okay. Mike said Jesus is everything, absolutely, brothers. Let me just look at the comments here. By the way, guys, if you have any questions to Francesco, please feel free to ask them away here. I'm gonna ask one more question here, and if I see one question that sticks out to me in the comment section, I'll gladly bring that up to Francesco. But Francesco, thank you so much for coming on here, and thank you to the people who are tapping the screens and sharing this. And please go and visit Francesco's account. Not now. I don't want you to leave the night live, but I think you can tap on the square here, and you can you will receive an option to hit follow. That way you can go and follow Francesco and hear more about his story. And he puts out tremendous content that will help you. So before I ask my last question here, please give him a follow. Let him know in the comment sections that you appreciate him, and send gifts his way. Someone said, is Francesco an ex-Muslim? Yes, we've had a conversation here about his story from being a non-practicing Muslim to embracing Eastern Orthodoxy. So, all right. Well, I have one more question that I want to ask you, and I always save this question as the last question because it's a humongous question. But with you, I'm going to switch it up a little bit since you're coming from a Muslim background. So my question is usually, what's God like, right? But I want you to flesh this out a little bit more as an ex-Muslim, right? Maybe you can just make a compare and contrast what you used to believe about God, back then, and how that changed, and what God is like to you now.
Before I used to think like God is like because I used to watch a lot of movies or maybe like Simpsons. Like God is just someone in heaven, like in the sky on the clouds, just with a crown, and like he doesn't care much about us. But after I converted to Christianity, I started to think like to know that Jesus, like God, he wants us to connect to him. Like he wants to have a relationship with us. So it's very different from before. Like he is love. He loves his children, us.
Beautiful, brother. W. Put W in the chat, people. I just learned that W. I'm trying to keep up with the modern lingo. I have a 5-year-old, and he comes home from school and he says, "That's 6'7", Dad. That's 6'7". That's W. It's based." It's like, what are you saying? Ankh. That's W, Ankh. Yeah, beautiful. Amazing. Well, man, everybody in the chat here again, I remind you, please follow Francesco and thank you for everything here. Maybe you can just close with this one. I'll ask you this question and then we're gonna end the live. But just talk to the person who is in this live right now. He's thinking about Christianity. He don't know where to go. He or she is new to this whole concept, barely knows Jesus. So what can you say to them? Tell us how Jesus has changed your life, and give them a word of advice on, or encouragement on how to just go with this thing, just pursue Christ, and give them a word of encouragement.
Personally, Jesus took the stress and anxiety away from me, so that's why I'm grateful to be Christian now. And if you truly want to become a Christian, and for example, you can't go to an Orthodox church, like the first thing you should do is try to go to church and talk to a priest, because he can guide me more than I can. Because I receive many messages a day trying to get advice, but I can't help them because I'm not a priest. So the first thing should be go to church, and if you truly can't, maybe go on YouTube and listen to online services, or maybe download, I don't know, Patristic Nectar or the new app Athon. Try to find every way to connect to God. So just because you don't have a church, or you think you can't connect to God, that's just for me the Satan trying to manipulate you, trying to say it's not worth it. But God is the most important thing. So try whatever you can just to connect to God.